Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing an original tag that Alexa of Alexa Loves Books and I created called the Ice Cream Book Tag. This week Alexa and I are doing an event on both of our blogs called the Turn of the Season event because Alexa's favorite season is summer and my favorite season is fall. So we wanted to kind of do something to just highlight the turn of the season going from her favorite season to my favorite season. We have a different blog posts planned for every day of the week, and one of the things that we wanted to do was to create an ice cream book tag because that is one thing that we both agree on, is that we just love ice cream so much. I have not done a tag video in a while, so I'm pretty excited to get into this one. The first question is vanilla, a book that you wish had more flavor. So for this one, I'm going to choose An Enchantment of Ravens. I enjoyed the world of this book. I did not enjoy the romantic relationship. I didn't think that it was really like there for me. I wasn't like sold on it. So I just wish that there had been a little bit more flavor in the romance because I had such high hopes for this book and then it really disappointed me. I still really love the cover, so I'm still planning on getting it because it's like just like a piece of art pretty much. I just think it's gorgeous, but I just wish that I really liked the book more because I just didn't. Question 2 is chocolate, a long book or an immersive book that you enjoyed indulging in. And for me, that has got to be The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is both long and immersive. So this is one of my favorite books of all time. There is no worlds besides Harry Potter that I enjoyed being in more than this world. So I'm really excited. I'm actually planning on rereading this one soon. I cannot recommend The Name of the Wind enough if you have not yet read it. Number 3 is Strawberry, a romance that was super sweet. And for this one, I have to choose one of my most recent reads, which is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I freaking love the relationship between Monty and Percy. I just think they're so adorable, and the fact that they've been best friends for so long and they really stand up for one another despite the many flaws that mostly Monty has. I just really enjoyed like being in Monty's head and just seeing how much he cares for Percy, and also just getting to go on their wild adventures and all the shenanigans that they encounter during their grand tour. Their romance was so cute. Number 4 is Ice Cream Sundae, a book encompassing all of the elements that you love. And for that, I'm going to choose another one that I don't currently have a copy of because it hasn't come out yet. And also I lent my ARC out. And that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I've been talking about this book a lot since I read it because it is still, to this day, my favorite book that I read this year. I loved this one so much because, first of all, Holly's writing is just phenomenal. So that is one element that I look for, is good writing. The second thing about it, it takes place in the Fae world, and fairies are one of the things that I enjoy reading about like more than anything else in books. I just think that their world is so interesting, and I just love reading about fairies because they're so like tricky, like they're so like beautiful, but then they just love like playing with little humans. They just find it amusing, and I find it amusing. I just love reading about them, and this book, as I have been saying, is pretty much Game of Thrones, but with fairies. It is ruthless and brutal, and Holly is not afraid to just slay certain characters. There's also the hint of a romance that is to come that I am 100% certain is going to be like one of my OTPs of all time. Everything in The Cruel Prince is something that I just adore. So yeah, I cannot stop raving about this one, and oh man, I cannot wait for everyone else to read it because we just need to talk about it forever. Number 5 is Milkshake, a book that blends genres, and for this one I'm actually going to be choosing a series, and it is the Burn for Burn series by Jenny Han. I went into the series thinking, oh my gosh, I love Jenny Han's cute contemporary reads. These are so much fun, so I'm sure to love this as well. And I did love it, but I read the first book and I was like, that was a really interesting, like, cute contemporary story. And then I read the second book and I was like, what? Because there is a paranormal aspect that is thrown into it that I was completely blindsided by. Maybe if I had known anything about the series before I started reading it, then it wouldn't have been as shocking, but I just went into this thinking, oh, cute contemporary Jenny Han book, and I never saw anything like that coming, so I was completely shocked. So this is definitely a genre blender. Number 6 is Sprinkles, a book with a colorful cover. So the first one that came to my mind was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This book has every single color on the cover, There's a lot of white in it, and I hope that it's like not getting washed out, but it has pretty much all of the colors of the rainbow just going around this whole cover. And I still really have to read this one. I haven't gotten to it yet, and I know everyone like loves it, and it won a Prince Award, so yeah. I gotta do that. Number 7 is Ice Cream Cake, a book worthy of a celebration, and for that, I would have to say Harry Potter, the whole series, of course. I've had many Harry Potter parties in my time already, and I'm planning on continuing to have more and continuing to go and attend any Harry Potter parties that bookstores want to throw. I think that this is just such an iconic series, obviously. Definitely already proven that it is worthy of celebrations. Number 8 is Ice Cream Cookie Sandwich, or 3 Scoops on a Cone, a book with multiple perspectives. And for that, I will choose another series, and that is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, because the book essentially started just having Selena's perspective, I think. It was a long time ago, but as the series has grown and evolved, there's been so many more characters that have been introduced into it, and I'm holding up Queen of Shadows because that is when I fell in love with my favorite character here, which is Manon. Her and Dorian are by far my favorites in this series, but I love that we get so many different perspectives and get to see so much of this world. And now we have Tower of Dawn, which has Kale's perspective. So for a series to grow so big that a character that started as a side character can have their own entire 700-page book, I would say this is like the queen of multiple perspectives. Number 9 is Waffle Cone, a book that you felt compelled to read very quickly. So for that, I'm going to go with Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare for 2 reasons. The first reason being that the book was very interesting. The second reason being the internet is full of spoilers. So I felt like I had to read this right away because I did not want to risk getting spoiled for anything that happens in this series, or like watching somebody talk about it on a booktube and not being able to hit the pause or fast forward button quick enough in case I'm like in the middle of doing something else. So this is one that I was like, I need to read this before I can like look at Twitter ever or anything else. Number 10 is Pint, a book that you set aside but plan on going back to later. And for that one, I'm going to say Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I had begun reading this. I read about 70 pages of it, and the footnotes really kept taking me out of the story, or annotations or what have you. I was on a very crowded, very loud train, and it was really difficult to concentrate. So between the noise and constantly having to look down to read the annotations, I wasn't necessarily confused. I was just having trouble like staying in the story. So I really do want to read this again because so many people have told me that I would really love this book, and I really think that that is very true. I've also heard some people say that you don't necessarily have to read the annotations, but knowing myself, I won't be able to read it without reading them because I like to know all the things. So this is one that I'm planning on getting back to, and very, very soon too. I'm actually thinking about reading it possibly this November. Then we have a couple of questions about our personal ice cream preferences. So the first one is cup or cone. And for me, I always would rather have a cone, even though a cup is usually much easier to eat out of. I love the look of a cone. I feel like it really ups your Instagram game. I know, great reason. But I do really enjoy like the way that a cone tastes too, because it adds a little bit of like crunch to your ice cream. Number 12 is your favorite flavor. So mine was this limited batch of Ben & Jerry's that was out like 2 years ago called Candy Bar Pie, and it was so delicious. And the reason that I loved it so much was because there was a salted pretzel swirl in it, which I could not get enough of. I swear I've never eaten so much ice cream in my life as the season that was out, because every time that I would go to the grocery store, I would get like as many of them as I could, and I would just eat them throughout the whole week. It was a problem. And it's probably good that it was limited because I like could not put those down. And then actually my second favorite flavor, which is currently available, is peanut butter and cookies, which is also a Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but it's one of the non-dairy ones. It's made with almond milk, and it's so good. I love peanut butter and I love Oreos, so it's just like the winning combination for me. Number 13 is toppings, yes or no, and yes, I am all about the toppings. If I'm eating ice cream at home, then I'm not putting toppings on it, but if I'm out somewhere, then I'm usually struggling to narrow down the amount of toppings that I want to include. I always go for anything chocolate, and if there's any kind of peanut butter, I'm into that as well. And also I just love like rainbow sprinkles and like pretty much all the toppings. Number 14 is your favorite local ice creamery, and this is really tough. There are so many great ice cream places in New York City that it's like really hard to just choose one of them. So I'm gonna choose a couple. I really like sundaes and cones I really like Morgenstern's. I love Momofuku Milk Bar, but they only have, depending on the location that you go to, they either only have the cereal bar ice cream or they have the cinnamon swirl, and I recently tried the cinnamon swirl and really enjoyed that one. And I also really like Taiyaki New York, which is like taiyaki, if you've seen it. They show it in like anime and stuff, but it's like pastry that is shaped like a fish. And then they put ice cream like in the mouth coming out. So I really liked that. Oh, and Eggloo was really good too. They have like a giant waffle. Then they put scoops of ice cream in it, and that was also really good. And Pocky, so that was good. But yeah, that's like way more than I was really supposed to choose, so sorry. And number 15 is best shared with friends. Who do you tag? So here are some folks that I am going to tag. I'm going to tag Monica from She Might Be Monica, Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd, Caitlin from Big Screen Books, Vanessa from Paper Fairy, Allie from Hardback Hoarder, Amber from Reading Infinitely. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna tag Owl Crate because I've really been enjoying their videos and I'm glad that they have a YouTube channel now. So those are all the people that I tag, and I hope that they will do this because it was a lot of fun. So that's all that I have for the ice cream book tag. Once again, don't forget to check out Alexa's channel for her answers to these questions, and also to check out our blogs for our turn of the season event. And also just a reminder that you can use my code SuperspaceChick17 at CanterburyRoadCo to get 17% off of any candles that you buy. That is all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!